Hello and welcome back to the final episode of Season 3 of the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we've got Workington and Staleybridge Celtic against us, and all we need is one win and we have guaranteed ourselves safety. So after a really long season where for a while it did look like we were going to get relegated, in between Tuesday's episode and Thursday's episode we picked up a few wins, continued that into yesterday's episode, and we've done okay. In fact, we've done very well actually in between episodes today. A 1-1 draw with Warrington followed the 3-0 win to Ashton and the 3-0 loss to Altrincham from last episode. The 1-0 draw to Warrington was a little bit disappointing. We were very lucky to come away there with a draw, actually, I've got to say. Regan Hutchinson, of all people, rescuing us at the death there to make it 1-1 in that game. So that was good to see. We then beat bottom of the table Nantwich Town 4-1. That was good. We needed that win. That win may have been the game that could have actually saved us from relegation, I've got to say. So a 4-1 win there. Walker with 1, Masters with 2, and Regan Hutchinson with another one as well. So interesting stuff from him right at the end of the season as he's trying to play for his contract. And then last time out against top of the table Basford United, we got another draw. We drew against them earlier on in the season as well. I know we lost 1-0 to them earlier in the season. I don't know who we drew to earlier on in the season that I'm thinking of. But either way, we lost 1-0 to them earlier on in the season. This time a 2-2 draw. So 5 points in between episodes has been good. It keeps us in 15th place to where we were last episode as well. If we look fully at the table, expand it all properly, you can see that we sit in 15th place on 48 points. It might be behind my head, actually. So if I move out the way, or move out the way this way, talk behind the microphone, so you might not be able to hear me properly. We're on in 15th, 48 points. 4 points behind us. A Droyle's done on 44 points. So potentially we could lose both games today and be relegated. But we could also lose both games and still stay up. It sort of depends what happens in other games. But winning one game today will be enough. In fact, a draw actually against the first team we play against, Workington, that would be enough actually to secure, I think. Pretty much it would be, wouldn't it? I think it would be. So as long as we don't lose both games and other results go in our favour, we should be okay for survival. Workington in 9th and Staleybridge in 7th. They're the two teams we've faced today. So we're going to try and go for the 4-4-2, try and play for draw. So this is the team we're going to go for in the penultimate game of the season against Workington, with Emery starting in goal. The back line of Roberts, Ford, Narty and Jake Walker. Jacqueline's been off for a little while with injuries, just about coming back, but probably won't play in today's episode at all. In the midfield, Luke Holmes, McQuaid, Masters, who is actually by stats actually the best player in the squad. He's got the highest average rating across this season, if it wants to load itself, of a 6.98, which is abysmal, really. That is abysmal, but it's the highest in the squad. So fair play, Master. He's come in and done quite well for himself. Cotton starts on the right hand side of the pitch as well. Robinson, as a pressing forward, not scored for a long time now, needs to get a few more goals in this episode, just to boost the tally a little bit this season. And then Hutchinson, who scored 2 goals, 2 important goals in the last 2 games or so, starts up front alongside him. Right then, kickoff is upon us. Workington, the home side today. As long as we don't lose today's game, we will be safe from relegation. We can guarantee that. Actually, we can't guarantee that, can we? I'm telling you a lie, because if everyone else below us wins and we draw, then we'll only be 2 points clear of the relegation zone rather than 3 points or 4 points. So actually, a win here today will guarantee us. A draw just makes us a little bit more comfortable. So let's start to talk about next season then. There's 2 players that I am very confident will be starting next season. One of them is Masters, who's came in midway through the season for a fee of nearly £6,000 after we released him from his contract and had to pay money for it. A little bit annoying, and it is the highest transfer fee ever paid by Lincoln United, but he's been worth it because he's been the best player this season apparently, and scored some important goals recently as well. The other person is Jamie Bird, who ironically is on the bench today, just because he's not the best right midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder on the right, not really a right midfielder, where Cotton is sort of both. So Cotton starts today just because virtue of formation. Those 2 players are both 4-star current ability, and they are the only 2 that are guaranteed to be starting next season. Everyone else's position, as far as I'm aware, is up for grabs because we need to massively improve next season if we want to try and get promotion. Corner comes in for Workington, cleared by Cotton, but he heads it straight into the path of Workington players who nearly put it in the back of a net. Decent move from them. As they're both 4-star quality players, they're the only 2 players that I'm very comfortable with this season. As I say, we need to be better next season. So everyone else's position up for grabs. Robinson, just because he scored plenty of goals for us in previous seasons, even this year, 14 goals isn't a bad tally. He will probably get a contract extension, but depends on how much money he wants. If he wants more than £250 that he's on right now, it might not happen. Very quickly into half-time, you can see from the stats there, we really are parking the bus. We just want the point today. The point is going to be beautiful. If we can get a point, I'll be very, very happy in today's game. In a similar situation, Matt Cotton is probably also going to stay at the club, although I'm not sure if he'll be a starting player next season. He may actually be more of a bench player. Hopefully he will be. Hopefully we'll get players in who are going to be better than him. But I think we may change formations next season, which may mean it's a bit more difficult for him to fit into the squad. I'm not 100% decided on formations yet, but I think we need to get rid of our attacking winger formation, as Workington score a bit of a wonder goal there from distance, I've got to say. A decent goal, to be fair. We do drop down, but we still stay 3 points clear of Matlock and more than 3 points clear of Droylsden and Nantwich. So that's good to see so far. I think our main formation next season should be a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. I think that might just give it a little bit more cover at the back. It may help our defence out a little bit, but also if we make our central midfielders, or at least one of them, slightly more attacking, like an advanced playmaker, for example, I think that could be the way forward next season. I think we keep the 4-4-2 part of the bus. It works. Obviously not right now because we're losing 1-0, but predominantly it's worked very well. It worked very well last game. We've got the draw against the Basford United. It does seem to work. It gets results against top teams. We might not need to use it next season, but at least we've got it in our arsenal if we need to use it. It leaves us one formation spare, which I'm not sure. A few of you suggested some quite good ones, wing-back formations and things like that. I think might potentially go for one of those. So if you've got a good formation, let me know in the comment section. But a few of you have left comments before with some decent formations that we may look to use next season as well. In the meantime, it does look like we're going to lose this game. And at the same time, Warrington... Well, we should have done something about this, really, shouldn't we? I was trying to just play for the draw and got distracted talking to you. That was a bad decision because Warrington, or Matlock, are now winning their game, which means that Warrington drop into the relegation zone, but they're only 2 points clear, or 2 points behind us. So, as the final whistle comes to a close here, and we've not really paid much attention, next game's got a lot of pressure on it. A lot of pressure on it. I wasn't watching the other results, wasn't really watching us too much. I was too busy talking to you about next season when I assume we'll be safe, but that's actually not guaranteed yet, is it? We've lost today. And all of a sudden, that final 10 minutes or so, we have gone only 2 points clear rather than 3 points clear. So that's a little bit scary. So here's the table then. We are 4 points clear of Droylsden and clear of Nantwich. We're not dropping down to 21st or 22nd. We can only drop down to 20th. And that relies on Ashton at least drawing. Whitby and Matlock, with their goal difference, have to win. Warrington have to win and we have to lose. So it's a lot of conditions, to be fair, that. A lot of conditions. We'll have to really take close care of it next game. It could be dangerous because it's not unheard of for this to happen. In fact, it has happened to me before. It was actually the other way around. I was in the playoffs. This was before I made videos, actually. It was in the playoffs. I was at Boston United, actually. Was in the playoffs. And we were in second in the table. If we won the game, rather, we would have had a great chance of winning the league. We lost the game. Everyone else below us won it, and we dropped from second to sixth and finished just outside the playoffs and didn't get promoted or anything like that. So that was a really horrific, but that's the other end of the spectrum, and that was quite bad. So I feel like relegation is, and that happens to you in relegation like this, that's much worse. In case you're interested as well, the Premier League has just finished, and the past 3 seasons, Manchester United have won it. So the usual thing in Football Manager where Manchester United go on and dominate everything because they're just ridiculously overpowered in game is a thing in Football Manager 2019 as well, because here we go, 3 Manchester United wins in a row. Apparently we should hold a team meeting. It didn't go well last season, I don't think, and I don't think it went well at the end of the season either. And I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to absolutely bottle it, so I'm not going to do it. We're going to ignore a team meeting. We don't need it. I'm going to trust in other results going in our way instead. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust in Park the Bus, and I'm going to trust in other results going our way. We don't need a team meeting because I feel like I'm going to ruin it because they expect to go down. We're expected to go down. Hence why I've had the relegation battle. They all said at the end of last season, if you remember, I said, we'll do well to, we'll survive next season. And all of them disagreed with me. They all said, no, we're going back down. I feel like if I say today, guess what, lads, play well, we're going to survive, they'll all go crazy with me and say, don't put that pressure on us because we're meant to go down. So I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. So the games we're looking out for then. Big one here with Warrington and Whitby. both below us, both looking for survival. That's huge, I've got to say. That I'm quite glad they're playing each other, actually, because that's very, very good for us. Who else is playing? Matlock against Boston. Boston should win that, surely. Surely they'll win that. Ashton are playing Buxton. Buxton will win that, surely. I think, okay, results and other fixtures look like they're going in our favour as well. So fingers crossed. I think we should be okay. We should be okay. Should is the key thing. I'm not going to change the lineup again either, actually. I think we'll keep it the same because it went pretty well last game, apart from them scoring 1 goal. But, okay, let's stay calm. We're playing against Staleybridge, who are very, very good. They've just missed out on playoffs, but they're not playing for anything. We're playing for survival, so hopefully we'll do something today. As kickoff is upon us for the final time this season, we'll keep an eye on the table. We'll keep an eye on other results. But this Ashton and Whitby game is huge because if they draw, the perfect situation would be they draw, and because Whitby then can't go ahead of us, or can they? They can't. If we lose today, we go on 48 points. If they draw, they stay on 48 points. Ashton might go ahead of us in goal difference, but Whitby then can't. So that is the ideal situation if those two draw. I know it was Warrington and Whitby, wasn't it? Not Ashton, which is even better because Warrington are below us as well on 47 points. So they can draw all they want. In fact, one of them can win. One of them can win for all I care because it means whatever happens, if one of them wins, one of them draws, we should be okay, actually. So does that just actually confirm our survival and we don't need to panic at all? Is that actually what's just happening here? We have got guaranteed safety because if one of them wins, we can't drop lower than them, can we? That's surely it. In fact, that literally is it. I think we have just secured survival because those two are playing each other. By the virtue of two teams playing each other who have slightly less points than us and are playing each other, for us to go down, they both have to go on more points than us, and that can't happen because they're playing each other. Like Whitby are winning now, so Warrington are losing by even more, and they're down. We don't need to panic. We have survived. Come on, lads, we've done it. Survival is ours. This is the greatest escape. Well, not quite the greatest escape, because it'd be greater if we were like bottom of the table now and then suddenly come out of it. We actually escaped a few episodes ago. Last episode we escaped the relegation zone pretty much. Half time though, it's 0-0 and I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm grooving. I'm not grooving. That was a bit of a shoulder shimmy. What was that? Let's try and cut that out of the video, Tom. Let's not put that in there. That was a bit embarrassing. Second half though, I'm delighted. You know what? Tell you who are they playing? Whitby. Whitby, you can score as many goals as you like. You can get a better goal difference than us if you want, but we don't care because Warrington or you, one of you's going down if it's not us. It can't be us. It's a bit of an anticlimax, actually. That isn't it in a way? Not an anticlimax because we've managed to survive technically on the last episode. I suppose we have survived in the last episode, but it's not that exciting because it's literally by virtue of them playing each other we've survived. 15th though is not bad. We've ended up fifth. Well, as it stands right now, 15th, which is bordering on mid. It's lower half, but it's bordering on mid-table, which actually is kind of good when you consider that we're bottom of the table 2 episodes or so ago. I mean, if we manage to sneak a win now, we could actually move up to 13th, which is absolutely crazy. 15th is decent, though. I will take 15th all day long. Warrington have pulled it back, actually, as well. Tell you what, if they win and Ashton go down instead, there will be a rampage in Warrington. In fact, they've brought it back to 2-2 Warrington, haven't they? Which is crazy. They have to get another one. I'd rather be at that game right now watching that. Imagine if that was us instead. That would be a really exciting episode. Instead, we're stuck with this. Which actually has turned out to be quite a calm affair at the end of the episode, which I'm glad with because usually I hate those heart in the mouth moments. So for me, it's been a bit of a change. Warrington can't seem to get the win. Neither can we. The game is all over. We have survived in this division after I was pretty certain for a while. I didn't want to say it in the video, but I was certain for a little while that we were going down because we couldn't get a win from anywhere. And then all of a sudden, after those derbies, we turned things around and started to actually win a few games, which was really, really lucky. So I'm very happy with the ending part of the season. If we can carry that form forward into next season, if we can keep this momentum that we've got built up toward the end of the season, bring it into the start of the next season, who knows what it could hold for us. So there we go. We've done it. Basford United promoted by 9 points. That's pretty decent, to be fair. Boston sneak into the playoffs as well after they had a poor start to the season. Frickley dropped all the way down after their good start as well, and we've ended up ahead of Pontefract actually, so I'm quite happy with that because Frickley and Pontefract, the two teams that got promoted with us last season, were doing better than us for most of the season, and Frickley for a time looked like they were going to get promotion again. So actually, I'm quite glad that they've both dropped down because it makes me feel a bit better about how badly we've done this season. I suppose we haven't done that badly, have we? We've not done that badly, although Robinson has now not scored in 8 matches, which actually is a bit unusual for him. Despite him scoring 14 goals a season, he's been very poor when we've been very good, which says something about his ability, I think. I think it's something we need to be careful of going into next season, I think if we can't get him on a cheaper deal, he may have to leave us, unfortunately. It's the way football is, but we need to save some money because the finances are not in a good position. I am now quite scared, though, because we've been on this loading screen for a little while now. I was going to show you who got, like, team of the season or, like, fans player of the year sort of thing. Let's just Control-Alt-Delete this. This has happened before with this database. I think it's just when it ticks over a season, it doesn't really like it. The Task Manager says, well, actually in the background, it's started to respond. It's now, here we go. Let's quickly save the game before anything bad happens. So Owen McQuaid becomes the first player, well, the only player this season to be inducted into the overall best 11 alongside these players. Most of them are very familiar because they're still here, most of them, I've got to say. So no real change there. But the end of season award, Lee Masters gets fans player of the season with McQuaid in second and Robinson winning it, or coming third this time, won it the past 2 seasons, but Robinson down in third this time. Masters, of course, it's gone up to £9,000 now, apparently, for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. It seems to keep going up as signing of the season and also young player of the season as well. It makes sense. So, quick little season review. Emirates FA Cup lost in the second qualifying round in dramatic fashion. Don't remind me of that. FA Trophy, we lost to Hereford. I don't think we showed that. Same with Pontefract in the Integro Dudton League Cup. Lost in the first round for every single one of them that we got entered into. So that was a bit unfortunate. But 15th in the league is not bad going. End of season team meeting then. Last season, it was poor because I said we'll survive and they said, no, we won't. We did survive, though. I proved them wrong. So you'll need to come back fully refreshed so we can avoid relegation. And actually, they've all agreed with this time. Everyone's happy with that one, which is good. So hopefully, I mean, most of them won't be here next season. I won't lie to you. Most of them won't be here. So I'm not quite sure what they're too happy about yet because they'll be gone. Right, then that's it for this season of the Lincoln Loco 2. Join me next season for when we should have a much better squad. I'm going to really put a lot of time and effort into the transfer window. Hopefully it pays off and hopefully we'll have a team capable of top half, maybe even promotion next season. That would be wonderful. So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here so you never miss a video. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.